Shalom, shalom, shalom to the house of Israel. I'm your brother Abadiah of the South Arm of the Great Millstone Camp here in Trinidad. Heralds of Yahweh coming to you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But first, we give all honor, all glory, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruka HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, prophets, and teachers of Great Millstone, our spiritual fathers who rule well, teach well. Peace and salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwat who follow this truth in all diligence and all sincerity. Now, the topic today, we're going into rebellion. Rebellion. What is rebellion? Let's go and find the definition, the online definition of what rebellion is. We'll take it from there. Rebellion. It says violent action organized by a group of people who are trying to change the political system in their country. Right? That's the online definition for what rebellion is, right? See if I could find any other definition. Rebellion, an act or armed resistance to an established government or leader. So right off the bat, you see you're realizing how serious rebellion is, right? Now, when you look at 1 Samuel 15:23, I want to start, let me see. I will start from verse 10. It says, Samuel rebuked Saul. Now, Samuel is a prophet of the Lord. Saul was the king of Israel. So not even the king, not even those who are in positions of authority over another are exempted from following the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, nor are they exempted from rebuke. It says, Then came the word of Yahweh unto Samuel, saying, It repented me that I have set up Saul to be king. For he is turned back from following me, and had not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahweh all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of Yahweh. So this is the salutations and the greeting that Saul is given to Samuel. Blessed be thou of Yahweh. I have performed the commandment of Yahweh. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ear, and the lowing of the oxen which I heard? Now, I want to go up a bit. Remember what we read in verse 14, because a specific command was given to him to slay everything. Now this is 1 Samuel 15 verse 2 and 3. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. So this was an express commandment given. When you go to Exodus 17 and Deuteronomy, I think it's 25 or 27, the Lord talking about you'll have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So commands were given, it's in the Torah. And as men of the Lord, the weapon and battle axe of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we supposed to carry out the vengeance of the Lord. So Saul and Israel was to carry out that vengeance. But what you had was Saul being disobedient. He rebelled. Now picture this, you're a king, and you got hold of your enemies, and you give commands that your enemies be executed. and your executioner save them, what you're going to do? How you think you're going to feel? You're going to feel angry. And how would you view that executioner who disobeyed the instruction? You would view him as an enemy because he has aligned himself with your enemy. So too the Lord viewed Saul when Saul did not carry out the commandments of the Lord. And remember when we read the definition what rebellion was? Basically, you're rising up against a particular government or order or organization. So Saul was guilty of that. Let's see if I continue. Right, so we read 14 when Samuel asked him, "What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears and the lowing of the oxen which I hear?" And Saul said, "They have brought them from the Amalekites. For the people spared." Saul trying trickery of words to figure he could fool the Most High. If you're the leader and the king, and you give the instruction, and your instruction coming from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, you follow the instructions of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Don't care what the people try to do. If they fail to obey the Lord, put them to the sword. Right? Put them to the sword. That was all Saul had to do. Be zealous for the work of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. A lot of you profess to be zealous, but you are not. Now, we all face our trials and our situations and our troubles. And a lot of you decide that, hey, my situation far worse than me having to go out there and do the work, to do videos, to study, to pray, to check, You view your problems as something more important than that. Committing that rebellion against the order set forth. So you are no different from Saul. So Saul said, "They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto Yahweh thy power, and the rest we have utterly destroyed." Now, why is he using the term utterly destroyed when clearly he didn't fulfill the express commands of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai? And he even put the blame on the people. Now, they of course they are at fault. But as the leader, you bear the brunt as the leader for the transgressions that were committed. You are actually at fault. A lot of men are envious of the leadership role that our apostles occupy. But they don't understand the grave responsibility and the potential judgment and condemnation should they fail to live up to the Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai's expectation of them. So they disobeyed the commands of the Lord to sacrifice unto him. So not apparently, it seems Israel had more pleasure in sacrificing animals to the Lord than to obey him. That's why I can't remember what scripture, but it talks about the Lord being tired and literally fed up at the feast, at the offerings, because they're not offering these offerings out of a sincere heart, a heart, truly repentant of what they done. They're just doing it for doing its sake. Right? Verse 16. Then Samuel said unto Saul, "Stay, and I will tell thee what Yahweh had said to me this night." And he said unto him, "Stay on." And Samuel said, When then was Salakia? And Samuel said, "When thou was little in thine own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And Yahweh anointed thee king over Israel? And Yahweh sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore thou didst not obey the voice of Yahweh, but didst fly upon the spoil and didst evil in the sight of Yahweh." So it was more important to them to take of the spoil than to obey the commands of the Most High. The riches, the animals, they were more envious of that. Remember the scripture say, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And back then, having sheep and animals, that also contributed to one's wealth. One's wealth were often calculated by the land he owns, the vast livestock he has in his possession. So they were more concerned about gathering these livestock. They were more concerned with those livestock, you know. So they disobeyed the commands of the Lord to to destroy everything. Verse 19, wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of Yahweh, but didst fly upon the spoil and didst evil in the sight of Yahweh. And this is what, remember, that voice was the prophet Samuel. Samuel came and told Saul what to do, what the Lord required, right? So it was evil in the sight of Yahweh what Saul and Israel did. They did not obey the Lord. Scripture say obedience. But we go get that. Don't not rush it. Verse 20, and Samuel said unto Saul, yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yahweh. How did he obey? Based on what we read in, you see clearly he did not obey. And have gone the way which the Lord Yahweh sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But was that the instruction given? No, it was not. Let me get what was the instruction one more time. We start from verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, Yahweh sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. But did Saul carry out that instructions? No. Because there were animals in the camp, they took of the animals, and Saul said the people took of it to sacrifice unto the Lord. And then he had King Agag alive. Was that obedience? No. It was rebellion. He wanted to obey Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai in his own way. He didn't want to do it how the Lord required it. And a lot of you are in that same ship. Right? Let's see. So we read verse 20. Let's go to verse 21 now. It says, but the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahweh thy power in Gilgal. So Saul is blaming the people now. He is the leader. And when he gave the instruction, should they fail to follow it, they would have been put to death. I'm going to get a scripture. Let me get it, pull up this 16:11 first. All right. Now let's go to Exodus chapter 17. Let's see. All right, let's see. It says, and Yahweh power said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. Joshua was the leader that was to take the reins or the helm of leadership over Israel after Moses' death. So, as the leader, it's your duty and your responsibility to ensure that the commands of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is obeyed, it's carried out to the letter. It says, "For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven." Right? So it's not like Saul wasn't aware, because those events were recorded in the records for Israel to read. Saul would have known of this. So then, knowing that this is in the law, this was given as law, why would Saul disobey? Simply because Saul was rebellious. He wanted to obey the Lord in his own way. Right? He says, "But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahweh thy power in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Had Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahweh?" So Samuel was basically putting forth, which one you think would please the Lord more? The burnt offering and sacrifices, or you obeying what he says? That answer is pretty simple. It's obeying. If you give your children an instruction, would you prefer they obey or they try to give you a gift after they disobey? You prefer their obedience, right? He said, "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice." The Lord prefer obedience above sacrifice. "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft." There's no difference. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. And what the scripture says, "Suffer a witch not to live." A witch supposed to be put to death. So when you're in rebellion and you constantly rebelling, the Lord have every justifiable right to put you to death. Because rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. And the scripture says, "Suffer a witch not to live." For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And the scripture talk about how stubborn Israel was. They are stubborn and a stiff-necked people. Right? Israel is a stubborn and a stiff-necked people. You know, scripture say in Isaiah, it said, "The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib." But Israel does not know. My people does not consider. Why? Because they don't want to be led. They want to do the leading and not knowing where they're going. But they only want to know, I just want to do what I want to do. That's rebellion. That's rebellion against the established order. Scripture said that we are his people and he is our God. He is above us. And if he gives an instruction, it should be followed. But just as how Israel was rebellious back then, we have you same rebellious Israelites here today doing the same thing you did back then, rebelling against Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, not hearkening to the voice of the prophets. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And what was Israel's transgression against the Most High? Spiritual whoredom, which was what? Idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he also rejected thee from being king. Right? I get a precept to go with that verse. Wait a second, eh? Alright, verse 23. It says, let's go to Numbers chapter 14 and verse 9. Numbers chapter 14. Oh, sorry, it's a lot here. It says, start a little higher. Start from verse 6. It says, And Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land which we pass it through to search it is an exceeding good land. If Yahweh delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. Now notice what they said. Only, in meaning to receive that, rebel not ye against Yahweh. So obedience is conditional to you receiving the blessings of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. If you are being rebellious, why the hell should Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai grant you the desires of your wicked heart? When the most simple instruction he gave you're not obeying. Why? It says, Only rebel not ye against Yahweh, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defenses is departed from them, and Yahweh is with us. Fear them not. Now let's get Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 7. Deuteronomy 9 and 7. It says, Remember and forget not how thou provokest Yahweh thy power to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt, until ye come unto this place, ye have been rebellious against Yahweh. Also in Horeb, ye provoked Yahweh to wrath, so that Yahweh was angry with you to have destroyed you. Why? Because we were constantly being rebellious. Constantly being rebellious. And rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and the scripture say, suffer a witch not to live. So yes, rebellion to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai laws, statutes, and commandments is a offense punishable by death. That is why 2/3 of our people and the rebels are going to die on this side. Because they are guilty of the sin of rebellion. And a lot of them claim to be serving Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai while still being rebellious. Psalms 107, verse 11. It says, let's start a little higher. I'll start from verse 6. Then they cried unto Yahweh in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distresses. And he led them forth by the way that they might go to a city of habitation. You see, people want to treat Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai like how these outer order women treat men today. They don't want to respect them. They don't want to honor them. They don't want to obey them. They just want to have them wrong as a ATM. And when they have need of any other favor or anything done, call on them. Other than that, they consider you to be of no value. It's the same way all leaders want to treat Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. He's only good when he granting all your wishes. The desires of all your heart, that is when he's only good. Once all they get it, all they don't have no time to study him. Users. It says, Oh, that man would praise Yahweh for his goodness and his wonderful works to the children of men. Right? He satisfied the longing soul and filled the hungry soul with goodness. Such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, being bound in affliction and iron. Right? Talking about slavery, talking about, you're close to dying. It said, because they rebelled against the words of power and contemned the counsel of the Most High. They didn't want to take it on. They didn't want to listen. They wanted to stay in and keep doing whatever they wanted to do. That's the mindset of the world today. All you're professing to love the Lord, yet you are rebellious. You can't even discern that the people that the men speaking to all you telling all that thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is actually his prophets. I want to get a precept, Jeremiah 28 and verse 16. It says, therefore thus saith Yahweh, I'm not sure if I probably need to go a little higher. Right. Then said the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah the prophet. So this is one prophet passing the condemnation and the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai on another prophet. This prophet prophesied falsely and lied on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and said the Lord told him. Right? Then said the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah the prophet, hear now, Hananiah, Yahweh had not sent thee, but thou makest this people to trust in a lie. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth. This year thou shalt die, because thou hast taught rebellion against Yahweh. And the Lord can do that again today. He's even doing it today. We are living in the time of the Lord's visitation. And this visitation of the Lord is grievous. And one of the things he is visiting the earth for is because of the rebellion of his people. That rebellion. The Lord ain't putting up with that. He ain't tolerating that. But a lot of persons seem to think, hey, God is love. So, I ain't want to tell people, hey, respect the Lord, do what he says. He ain't thinking like that. We get Jeremiah 29 and verse 32. It says, thus therefore saith Yahweh, behold, I will punish Shemaiah the Nehelamite and his seed. He shall not have a man to dwell among his people, neither shall he behold the good that I will do for my people, saith Yahweh. Why? Because he had taught rebellion against Yahweh. Let me understand it. From verse 30, then came the word of Yahweh unto Jeremiah, saying, send to all them of the captivity, saying, thus saith Yahweh concerning Shemaiah the Nehelamite, which was the same thing we read, the same guy who we read in Jeremiah 28:16, from when we read a little higher, right? He said, why? Because that Shemaiah had prophesied unto you, and I sent him not, and he caused you to trust in a lie. Telling Israel, don't worry, the Lord with all you wouldn't go into captivity, and the Lord had already said he was sending them into captivity because of their disobedience. Verse 32, therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will punish Shemaiah the Nehelamite and his seed. He shall not have a man to dwell among this people, neither shall he behold the good that I will do for my people, saith Yahweh. Why? Because he had taught rebellion against Yahweh. And that's exactly what the Christian church teaches. That is exactly what these other religions are teaching. This is exactly what those Israelites who not falling, coming in the right spirit or following the 100% doctrine, what they are teaching is rebellion against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And the Lord will take kindly to that. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I'm your brother Abaniah of the South Arm of the Great Millstone Camp here in Trinidad. Heralds of Yahushai saying Shalom. Till the next lesson.